Hey guys, Cheesette Cowan, CEO of Real Estate, excited to talk to you about a topic that I think a lot of people struggle with, just nobody talks about. And that's how do I get to a space where I'm not as affected by doubt, by unbelief, by the unsurety of the market and things in real estate. And this is one of those things that I know we all struggle with it. I know that we all at some point, even those of us that are high in faith, we still go through these wave of emotions. Like when we have a contract cancel, what that looks like, how that affects us emotionally. I just wanted to encourage you a little bit because I think it's important to understand that this is a process. It's a journey. I wish that when people went to real estate school, they would be a little bit more candid about the harshness of the industry. It is not easy. And it doesn't mean that it's super hard and impossible. I just think that when people watch TV and they see real estate on TV and they see people in the end, like even a lot of people looking at me, I've been in real estate 8 years. I've been through this whole journey. It's been up and down. It's been up and down. I have my good times. I have my bad times. But here's the thing. When we're in this space, a lot of times we think it's just us. Like if I were a better salesperson, I would do this. If I had this going on, I would be better at this. The reality is good, bad, or indifferent. This is a journey. It's a process. And the only thing that separates the people that make it from the people that don't is the people that make it just refuse to quit. See, when we look at this as a journey, I always think about when I'm thinking about the journey of real estate, a marathon, right? I've never ran a marathon. Let me get that. Let me just say that. I've never ran a marathon. I ran a 5K before. I would like to run a marathon one day. But here's why I probably won't and why I haven't. I don't want to commit to the process of training for the marathon. Nobody just runs a marathon, by the way. Nobody. Nobody. People that run marathons train for them. They start, when I first ran my first 5K, I did at couch to 5K. They'll start running distances and then they'll start running at sprints and then they'll start walking and then they'll start building up the momentum to be able to run first their first 1 mile without stopping, then their first 2 miles, and then their first 3, 5 miles, and they build upon it. That's what this journey is about. It is not one of those things that you are just going to do and then you're just going to arrive. And it ain't going to take you 2 months and it ain't going to take you 6 months. I am 8 years in and I'm just really unfolding a lot of my passions in real estate because I spent the first 7 years working the business, building it. And now I'm starting to get into some of the creative things that I love, like coaching or through coaching. But I want you to understand that the part of what we have to embrace is the fact that everything has a process. I don't know why when we get into real estate, we feel like there's no process involved. And then we start to have this bad feeling or this bad idea about who we are, what we can do and what we can accomplish, all because we forgot that life is a process. If I was to get pregnant today, and don't tell my husband I said that, even in a video for an example, he'll be like, don't say that. We ain't having no more kids. But anyway, if a woman, okay, wants to get pregnant today, she still has to go through 9 months of growing the baby. During that time, she's going to have times where her energies are up and it's going to be times where her energy is down. She's going to have time where she's hungry all the time. And she might have time where she's throwing up all the time and doesn't want to eat. She's going to have time where she wants to sleep a lot. Then times where she's nesting and she wants to clean everything and has all the energy in the world. That's part of the process. But during no part of the process does she say, it's too much for me. I don't want to be involved in this process. When we get involved in real estate, I want you to understand you're committing to a process. And the only person that guides you through a process successfully to me is God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Like you have to have something in you that's going to reveal to you that it's going to be okay, that you're going to make it through the next step in your journey. But here's the thing. What I think has helped me and what I think helps a lot of the people that I coach is rather than focus on the process or the journey, I'm focusing on the strategy. Because here's the thing. I know I win. The Bible tells me that I know I win. On my way to the win, though, how effective do I want to be? All of my energy is spent developing my business plays. I don't have time to doubt. I don't have time to be in unbelief because I'm too busy strategizing, too busy dreaming, too busy focusing on the what if. Because here's the thing, I already know how to do things successfully. You already have had success. A lot of times we have had success in a previous career. We know what success looks like and we will eventually find our way to it. It's the journey that we have to make sure that we're committed to. And here's the other part to that. I think I was telling somebody that on the journey, we got to remember we have an enemy. The enemy to your faith is not going to just roll down and let you just roll out the red carpet and make all the money you want to make in real estate while you're going through the process. He's going to tell you this don't work. If it worked, you would have been a millionaire by now. Oh, such and such, look at them. But what they're not showing you is that it took them 6 years to get to that overnight success. It took them 6 years. But you're looking at yourself in your second week and you're down. I have the hardest time watching clients who are 2 weeks in and crying because they don't have a sale. I'm like, 2 weeks? 2 weeks? If you were working a job, you wouldn't even been through knowing the building. You wouldn't even know what a bathroom is at this point, right? That's part of the process. And in every other part of life, in every other sphere and space of life, we understand that there's processes involved. If I go to plant corn seeds today, I'm not eating corn tomorrow. It takes corn about 6 to 9 months to grow. Here's the other part to that. This is why I don't quit. Because if you leave and your corn seed is planted in the ground, when the corn does come up and you're not here, guess who gets it? Me. I'm going to eat your corn. But guess what you're not going to do? You're not going to eat my corn. Right? Because I ain't leaving. If I put seed in the ground, I know that God is faithful. He's the Lord of the harvest. He watches over my harvest to make sure that I get it. And good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over 30, 60, 100 fold. I know that. So here's the thing. I'm not going to quit. But guess what I got to work on in the meantime? My mindset. We win it and lose it right here. We don't win it and lose it by action. We don't win it and lose it because we quit on the process. Because here's the thing. I quit on the process every day. I quit today. I pick it back up tomorrow. So quitting, you just can't quit long term. But if your mind is overrun with doubt, with fear, with anxiety, and sometimes with guilt of feeling like you don't deserve to be a millionaire, you're never going to make it to that place because you're going to quit on the process, point blank period, every time. But when you have faith, it takes faith to be an entrepreneur. You cannot do this without having faith because you don't always know where your next paycheck is coming from. You don't always know where your next client is coming from. But guess what you do know? That God is faithful, that he has never seen the righteous forsaken or a seed begging bread. It will work out. But guess what? If I believe that, I can commit my thought to that and then now start to focus on something else. Because what I focus on is going to be what drives me. If I focus on lack, that's going to be what drives me. If I focus on strategy, that's going to be what drives me. And when I focus on strategy and it's driving me, it's going to lead me to income. So get around people that are in faith. I don't spend my time with people that talking about woe is the market. I spend my time with people that are like the market is great. It works if you work it. And I believe that's everything in life. It works if you work it. But you got to be committed to the process. A lot of times we're off. See, that's what offense does is it off ends the process. It cuts you off and it ends the process of your faithfulness. So I tell people, I don't quit. I don't care. I don't care. If I start out a path, if I really want it. Now let's get into this. Maybe you really don't want it. See, that's another thing that we don't talk about. See, we got a lot of people coming in here and they want a lot of stuff, but their will doesn't match that. And I think it was Jordan Freed. He said that your will has to match your want. You can't want $1 million lifestyle if you're not willing to do what it takes to have $1 million lifestyle. If you're not willing to do whatever it takes to want $1 million lifestyle, go ahead and lower that want. Go ahead and want $100,000 lifestyle. Because if you're willing to just go to work every day, that's $100,000 lifestyle. Just don't want too much because your want has to match your will. Otherwise, it creates internal turmoil. When you have turmoil only because you know you're not doing the best. See, when I look at real estate agents and they tell me they start crying and struggling, I'm not about to get in that with you. I'm like, it's something that you should know you should be doing that you're not doing. Otherwise, you wouldn't feel like that. Because there's a lot of things that I set out to do and I have no control over and I can't take it any further. But anything that I'm able to control and take to the next level, I always do. So my thing is the feelings that you're feeling. Is it that you really can't do it, or is that you not doing everything that you need to do? And here's the thing. I want you to understand this. I want to be very clear. Doing everything you know to do is not the same as doing what it takes. Big difference. See, what happens is doing what it takes sometimes mean I got to go get educated. Sometimes I got to go learn more. Sometimes it's not what you know, it's what you think you know, and you lack the difference between what's real and what you know. See, I knew how to make $100,000. I did that at Blue Cross. I didn't know how to make $1 million. That's why I had to get into coaching. Because what coaching does is it closes the gap between what I know and what I need to know. And that's where a lot of people are missing it. And that's and closing the gap on what you know and what you need to know, a lot of time has to do with your mindset too. When I coach people, I'm not just coaching you on strategy. I'm a whole mindset coach because you got to get this thing right in order to win. The Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If all you got in your heart and mind is used interchangeably in that scripture, if all you got in your heart is $100,000 thinking, I don't care. You can go to every Tom Ferry event, every Tony Robbins event. You can walk on water, ice, snow. You only gonna make $100,000 because that's where your heart is. See, this is why it's important to get around people that are at a different level and get out of your local place and go around people that are thinking bigger because it exposes you to more. I was in a wealth planning seminar with Brett Tanner. He was saying stuff that my mind couldn't even comprehend. I was just telling you, that's the guy that I said hired a teacher, went to Bali and all that. He was saying stuff that my mind couldn't even comprehend. I said, you know what? I'm going to just sit in this room because I trust that if I sit in here long enough, if I spend enough time around this kind of content, I will grow into these conversations. This is what language is. It's a conversation. People grow into the conversations you have around them. Nobody speaks English. They learn to speak English because English conversations are had around them. Nobody speaks Spanish. They learn Spanish because those are the conversations that are around them. If I was born in Spain and everybody that I knew spoke Spanish, I wouldn't be speaking English. I would be speaking Spanish. That's how I know language is a matter of the conversations around you. Language is also how you communicate your wants and desires to God. So here's the thing. If you're around language of broke, language of I just need enough to pay my bills, language of I ain't got enough money, I can't do this, I can't do that, guess what type of language you're going to speak. But what happens when you're around language where I had a friend and she was like, yeah, I'm about to buy something, and she was like, it's going to cost $150,000, I'm just going to write a check. Okay, yeah, let's have that conversation. What happens when you're around language like that? Your language becomes different. Your mind is impacted by the language around you. A lot of the doubt and unbelief that we're having, you cannot start a real estate career and be around people that work jobs all day. They're not going to understand you. Get around people that are doing the same things that you're doing and that are doing it at a higher level. I don't spend a lot of time with employees. We don't speak the same language. When they talk, I'm like, what? I got people talking to me about overtime. I'm like, what do you mean overtime? Like what? I'm over here trying to cancel. I don't want to exchange time for money. So I'm looking for product and innovation and things that I can do to make money without having to sacrifice time to do it. You over here talking to me about how you want to spend more time to make more money. We're speaking different languages. So a lot of times the things that we're experiencing in our heart and in our minds, just a lot to do with the environment that we're around, right? That's why the Bible says, be not deceived. Evil communication corrupts good manners. And if you wanted to take that a step further, I would say communication that's counterproductive or counterintuitive to what you're trying to accomplish will corrupt where you're trying to go. Get around people that are doing the things that you want to do. You want to be $1 million real estate agent? Get around millionaire real estate agents. I don't understand how you hanging out with people that work at, I don't know, Aldi's every day. Nothing against the people that work at Aldi's. We need all these people. So please understand, we need police officers, cops, teachers. We need everybody in every profession. And everybody is called to different posts. But you and what you're trying to accomplish, get around people that are doing with that. The reason why, if you ever see me in the places that I'm going, I just got back from KW West Atlanta. I went to KW West Atlanta. You know how I went to KW West Atlanta? And she was like, oh, thank you so much for coming. You just came gracefully. I came because this is a young black lady that opened a brokerage that's got almost 150, 200 agents in less than 3 months. Oh, yes, sister, I'm coming. I want to know. I want to see this. I want to sit at your feet. I want to get in the room with these conversations. Why? Because it's empowering to me. That's my next level. And I don't even know if I want to ever open a brokerage. I doubt I do. But here's the thing. My next level is still connected to empowering people. The fact that she's been able to attract 40 plus recruits every month for consecutive months in a row shows me something. The atmosphere in that place was explosive. I see why she's building what she's building. And I was able to tip my hat and say, I've been there. I've been a part of history. I was able to see it. I was able to witness it. But it also gave me a picture of what's possible and what's ahead for me. The environments that you're in should do that for you. Every single time, hands down. And if they don't do that, you're in the wrong environment. You should not be coming home at night frustrated with the people in your circle because you're having conversations with them that they don't even need to be a part of. I don't talk to people that work jobs about my real estate business. We're different language. That's like me trying to speak to somebody that speaks Spanish and they're trying to speak to me and I speak English. Great people, different languages. Different languages. What language are you around every day? Because remember I told you, language is not just, that's something that you inherently are born with. You learn it by the conversations around you. What rooms are you in? You want to know why you're struggling with doubt, fear, unbelief, and anxiety? Examine the rooms that you're in. You ain't in rooms full of faith and you ain't in rooms with people doing big things because those limitations go out the window. When I was in a room with Brett Tanner, he talked about how during COVID he made $100 million. I was like, ooh, $100 million? Yeah, I need to talk to you. Like, I need to be around you a little bit more. Every room that he's in, if I'm close, I'm there. Am I going to talk to him? Probably. No, I don't care. I just want to be around the conversations. I just want the information because people grow into the conversations that you have around them. That's why you could say to a kid, you don't even have to know. The kid don't know language. The kid has no language. The language is formed by the conversation around you. You start speaking to him in Spanish, he's going to grow up and speak Spanish. You start speaking to the kid in Latin, they're going to grow up and speak Latin. You start speaking to the kid in abundance, they're going to grow up and speak abundance. So here's the thing. People that have doubt, fear, anxiety, all that, you grow up in those conversations, what you gonna have? Doubt, fear, anxiety. No wonder you got to struggle in your real estate business and you feel like it ain't working. You're around people that's all they talk about. Get away from them. And that's what the Bible said when he called Abraham out. He said, get away from your family. Just basically your family is people that are influencing your thinking. Get away from them. Let me speak to you. Let me tell you something higher. And I'm going to tell you there's no lack in God. There's no shortage in the real estate industry. The market ain't slow. It ain't. It's slow for some people because their minds are slow. It ain't slow for me and it ain't slow for you. Why? Because we're not having those conversations. Here's what I'm talking about. We talk about this stuff in our CEO membership. It's mindset training. Your life is an expression of your mindset. Your life and where you are is a reflection of the way you think. The way you think is a result of the conversations that are spoken around you. Get in different rooms. Get in a CEO community. Click the link in the bio. Let's start to have different conversations right now.